Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anna Manuel. The longest reigning monarch in British history, Queen Elizabeth II, has passed away at the age of 96. The Queen died at Balmoral Castle in Scotland after doctors said they had become concerned about her health. She will be mourned around the globe as one of the last monarchs born to a classic age of European royalty, when kings and queens wielded genuine political power. The Queen's death comes 7 months after she marked the 70th anniversary of her accession to the throne. Martha McCallum looks back on the life of Queen Elizabeth II.
Even into her 90s, Queen Elizabeth II kept up her royal duties. She became the longest reigning monarch in British history in 2015.
Inevitably, a long life can pass by many milestones. My own is no exception.
At 25 years old, Elizabeth became queen. Millions watched the first ever televised crowning of a British monarch. Queen Elizabeth worked with more than a dozen British prime ministers, beginning with Winston Churchill, and was head of state in 15 other Commonwealth countries. A series of royal dramas marked her reign. Her son Andrew's high-profile marriage to Sarah Ferguson failed. And in 1992, her oldest son, Charles, separated from Princess Diana. That same year, the Queen watched part of Windsor Castle go up in flames, destroying millions in art and furniture.
1992 is not a year on which I shall look back with undiluted pleasure.
In 1997, a car crash in Paris killed Princess Diana, stunning the world. Many criticized the Queen for not showing emotion. More than a decade later, the Queen celebrated a royal wedding as her grandson, Prince William, married Kate Middleton. The couple gave the Queen 3 heirs to the throne. The Queen watched another tiny royal join the family after her youngest grandson, Prince Harry, married Meghan Markle. Just a few years later, the Queen lost her husband of 73 years. She called the death of Prince Philip a huge void in her life, but she carried on. And at 96 years old, celebrated her Platinum Jubilee. The week of fanfare and festivities marked the Queen's 70 years on the British throne. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
Governor Hochul announcing that New Yorkers can receive a new booster. Hochul herself received the booster on camera. The bivalent COVID booster specifically protects against the Omicron variant. This comes at a time when New York is seeing Omicron cases rise across the state. To find nearby locations offering COVID boosters, you can text your zip code to 438-829 or call the number on your screen.
And it's that easy. It's that easy. So I encourage all New Yorkers, let's be really smart. Let's get it done.
The Elmira School District has announced the grand opening of its new athletic complex. The district said that the official opening of the multi-purpose turf stadium will happen on Friday, September 23rd. The new athletic complex includes a press box, new turf, concessions, a new track, bleachers, a scoreboard, and a sound system. It will be broken in on the 23rd during the Elmira football team's game against Union Endicott, starting at 7. The Elmira College men's hockey team released their 2022-2023 schedule. Last season, the Soaring Eagles made a return to the NCAA Division III tournament for the first time in over a decade. Home games will be played at First Arena in Elmira. The season opener is at home on October 28th against Nazareth College. September is Emergency Preparedness Month. Big Fox's Josh Feldberg spoke with the Steuben County Director of Public Safety about how you can be prepared for an emergency.
The Steuben County Office of Emergency Services wants to remind everyone of the importance of emergency preparedness. Having a plan and knowing what to do in an emergency can be a life or death difference.
September is National Preparedness Month, so we're encouraging folks to leave a living legacy with their families. So making sure that you're talking to your kids about preparedness, having a family preparedness plan.
Marshall suggests that your family should be prepared to sustain yourself for 72 to 96 hours before help can get to you due to Steuben County being in a more rural area. One way you can get yourself and your family prepared is by downloading the Ready Steuben app. The app is available on both the iTunes and Google Play Store.
So there's a lot of great features on the app. One of the things that is the most important is our push notifications. So when there's severe weather that's occurring within the county, we get alerts from the National Weather Service. They come over the app.
Some of the other features of the app include detailed emergency evacuation routes, storm damage reports, emergency situation plans, as well as power outage and traffic reports.
I think it's important because, most people have their mobile phone with them all the time. And this is immediate access to information and resources that could potentially save their life.
Josh Feldberg, Big Fox News, Steuben County.
An international Hindu organization welcomed their guru and leader, Paramahamsa Vishwananda, to Elmira yesterday. Bhakti Marga recently moved into what was formerly Our Lady of Lourdes Church on West Church Street in Elmira. It is the guru's first time in the United States in 6 years. There were blessings, chants, and teachings last night during the ceremony. The spiritual group will hold open houses on the 10th and the 11th. To learn more about Bhakti Marga, visit bhaktimarga.us. Guthrie is offering a new paid training program for nurse aides. The 4-week program will provide classroom and clinical training. Interested candidates will apply for a nursing assistant position. After an interview process, select candidates will be trained to become certified nurse aides. Classes begin in November and a high school diploma or GED is required. Mortgage rates jumped to the highest levels in over a decade. The average rate on 15-year fixed-rate mortgages, which are popular among those looking to refinance their homes, rose 0.18%, now at 5.16%. That's the first time the 15-year rate has been above 5% since 2009. Rising interest rates, in part a result of the Federal Reserve's aggressive push to tamp down inflation, have cooled off a housing market that has been hot for years. Fed Reserve Chair Jerome Powell gave an update today about the Fed's next move. Big Fox's pet of the week this week is a kitten not even 6 months old. Big Fox's Maggie Hall spent some time with Abe and his foster mom today to bring you his pet profile.
Although Abe's foster mom, Faith, didn't want to appear on camera, she told me all you need to know about this little kitten. Abe, unlike the majority of cats, has thumbs. Abe is a polydactyl cat with 7 toes on both of his 2 front paws. He's 6 months old. Abe comes from a home with several cats and plays very well with others. His foster mom said that he is very playful during the day and a love bug at night. He is a very active indoor cat, and his foster mom said that he's very snuggly but will give you space when he needs it. He would do very well in a family home. He has never interacted with dogs, so it is unknown how he would do with them. Something else unique about Abe, besides his 7 toes, is that he loves water. His foster mom said that he'll even try to join you in the shower. Abe has all of his shots and is neutered, and he is litter box trained as well. There's an $80 adoption fee for Abe that covers the cost of his neutering and shots. If you would like to adopt Abe or check out any of the other animals that Paws and Purrs has up for adoption, visit pawsandpurrs.org. Maggie Hall, Big Fox News, Southern Tier.
Your complete forecast is next. Plus, Ruth Bader Ginsburg's legacy is unparalleled. And now fans can own a piece of her history for a price. Stay with us.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
As the rainfall continues to diminish, we are looking at some of the rainfall totals over the last 7 days. Pretty significant, especially the farther off to the east you track. You can see those high reflectivities up towards those yellows and oranges, which does signify up to about 3 to 4 inches seen over the last two days, even as there was some record rainfall into Binghamton. Across much of our area, we trended closer to about that 2-inch markers. Even Elmira topped off just towards that 1.75 inches over the last 3 days. We do add on a few hundredths of an inch from today. We'll get those official numbers later on, but overall the significant rainfall did mainly come on Monday, where we had some record rainfall reports across the state, but now we're trending to see that we have some comfortable conditions on the way. It did stay gloomy today. Really, we had this lingering low pressure system allow for the gray clouds, low level clouds as well, making it just feel dreary, and a little bit of that light shower or just mist at times. Now that moisture is going to hang on. It's going to create some of those patchy dense fog regions again for our commute, so do make sure you have those headlights on. High beams actually make it more difficult, and keep an eye out for those kiddos. Remember, we started off school earlier this week, so they are waiting out at those bus stops in those early morning hours, where we'll watch temperatures fall into those lower 60s and upper 50s. So a comfortable start to the day, as we'll be anywhere from about 59 into Corning to 59 into Wayland. But what we'll see as we step throughout our Thursday is the sunshine should be on its way for the area, and we should keep it through the weekend. And with that sunshine, it is going to stay dry and pleasant all weekend long, as high temperatures will be back into the 80s. So some gorgeous conditions to get outdoors after some dreary weather days. But the rainy weather is going to persist, as we will see that return into next work week again. But we'll get out and enjoy the sunshine while we can. As we look at our Thursday forecast, we have a little bit of cloud cover to start off with, some fog cover in the morning, but then the afternoon should turn to those brighter skies, as temperatures will be just around average into those upper 70s, as we'll sit 78 in Elmira to about 74 into Wayland, to about Westfield around 73 degrees. As we keep that sunshine into our Friday forecast, we'll bump those temperatures up into the 80s, so slightly above average, which is nice to see with the bright sunshine there across the entire area. All the way through Binghamton, we even have that blue sky with high temperatures climbing to about 82 degrees. So as we're about just 2 to 5 degrees above average, it does look like we'll persist under that bright sky into our Saturday forecast, high of 82 degrees. Now, we're trying to edge in a few isolated showers on Sunday. Note that those shower chances are actually going to come super late on Sunday. So much of the daytime is going to be bright. You may just see some of that increase in cloud cover, which would limit our temperatures to about 79 degrees. But the more likely chance to talk about some scattered heavier showers in the forecast will come Tuesday into Wednesday, when we watch those temperatures slowly dwindle below average, and which they could stay there for the rest of next work week.
More legal troubles for Elon Musk. Instagram gets fined millions, and Amazon tech workers don't have to worry about commuting to work. CJ Papa has those stories and more in today's Business Briefs.
Elon Musk's $258 billion Dogecoin racketeering lawsuit gets bigger. 7 new investor plaintiffs and 6 new defendants, including Musk's tunnel construction company Boring, were added to the suit this week. Plaintiffs are accusing Musk and his companies Tesla, SpaceX, and Boring of intentionally driving up Dogecoin prices in order to then let it crash and reap the profits. Tesla, SpaceX, and Boring have not commented on the suit. Instagram has fined more than $400 million by Irish regulators over its handling of teen privacy data. According to investigators, the platform failed to keep teen user phone numbers and emails private when they were allowed to operate business accounts. This is the second biggest fine issued under the EU's strict privacy rules. In a statement, Instagram's parent company Meta says they plan to appeal. Amazon corporate workers aren't returning to the office anytime soon. At a recent conference, the company's CEO revealed Amazon has no plans to require people to go back. Earlier this year, the retail giant announced it would let individual managers and teams make return-to-work decisions. The choice comes as many companies have begun to push back on the work-from-home culture. And Serena Williams breaks records once again. The last tennis match of her career has become the most watched match in ESPN's 43-year history. According to Nielsen, 6.9 million people tuned in. It beat the previous record holder, the 2012 Wimbledon men's final between Roger Federer and Andy Murray. That's business. I'm CJ Papa.
The late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg inspired countless people around the world. And now you could be the proud owner of some of her belongings. Jackie Ibanez tells us about this special charity auction.
Her legacy is unparalleled.
She really enjoyed her life to the hilt.
And now, fans could own some of her notorious possessions, as dozens of unique belongings, once cherished by the late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, hit the auction block.
She loved her tchotchkes.
Among them, one of her glimmering judicial collars made of glass beads. It's reportedly the first time any of Justice Ginsburg's collars will be sold to the public.
Most of those recognizable ones have gone to places like the Smithsonian.
Besides the fancy neckwear she used to jazz up her black robes, the auction also features some of her signature gloves, which her daughter-in-law says were suggested to her for health reasons by former Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor.
She was struggling with her first bout of cancer at that point and had come back from radiation therapy without missing a day on the bench. Yeah. And Justice O'Connor said, you know, you're going to be shaking hands with a lot of people. Why don't you consider wearing gloves? And she always said she liked them so much she just kept them.
A handbag, shawl, jewelry boxes, and scarves could also be yours.
When it was shopping time, it was shopping time.
Along with some artwork and even a fondant cake topper featuring the Justice doing the iconic Titanic pose. Bonham's auction house is running the online sales. Bidding ends September 16th, with proceeds benefiting the nonprofit group SOS Children's Villages. Jackie Ibanez, Fox News.
Still ahead, a trend that seems to have caught on during the COVID-19 pandemic. We'll tell you about the growing number of online funerals coming up. A report from at least one funeral industry trade group suggests that online funerals are becoming more common. It's a trend that started during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. Steve Nielsen has more.
Hidden in the back, a camera on the wall. 3 years ago, it might not have been inside very many funeral homes.
It's gotten to the point that most people expect that there will be a streaming option for services.
Bryce Bunker with Gilbert Memorial Park and Cemetery echoes a report from the National Funeral Directors Association on the changing landscape of death.
With COVID and the adjustments that we've had to make, some things have returned to normal and other things have stayed, and certainly streaming has become a consistent expectation, even as we've gone back to gathering together again.
The report says more than half of funeral homes nationally offer streaming, but also 40% started offering online cremation arrangements.
The funeral profession has really been impacted by COVID, and the way that we did things before is not the way that we're doing things now.
Caroline Davidson is with After.com, a regional startup that offers online services. You fill out the info, they'll provide you with the permits and death certificate and deliver the ashes. It's not right for everyone, but it's a service that started in the pandemic and is now growing substantially.
The funeral profession is traditionally very slow to change and embrace technology, but during the pandemic we saw so many people that were either unable or unwilling because of COVID to come in to make arrangements in person. And so offering that online service for families just makes things easier.
One city is working to tackle the urban heat island effect with a special road coating. The coating reflects the sun's rays and absorbs less heat. Linda Williams has more on the city's Cool Pavement program.
From this neighborhood in South Phoenix a year ago to this neighborhood in North Phoenix in 2020, the City of Phoenix's Cool Pavement program is rolling along.
We have close to 5,000 miles of city streets, but of those, about 4,000 of those streets miles are in our neighborhoods. So residential streets. And our Cool Pavement program is focused on those residential streets.
A special coating applied to the asphalt reflects the sun's rays and absorbs less heat. The goal is to reduce the heat island effect in the city of Phoenix.
When you have that urban heat island impact, the real impact of that is the fact that your hard surfaces, your pavement surfaces retain that heat and don't release it.
It's early afternoon in Phoenix, about 100 degrees. We head to a North Phoenix neighborhood near 40th and Shea, where Cool Pavement was applied in 2020. Checking the Cool Pavement surface, it's about 144.8 degrees. Heading over to 40th Street, which is made of regular road material, it is 149.8 1.5.
I haven't walked out there without shoes on, but I feel that it has made a difference in the temperature.
Teresa Belmonte says she supports the Cool Pavement program. The city of Phoenix says expect 11 more neighborhoods to get the treatment next year. Linda Williams, Fox 10 News.
Stay with us. We'll have more right after this. We want to leave you with a smile. An airline in Singapore is launching a new Pikachu-themed commercial jet. Scoot Airlines unveiled its new Pikachu Jet TR, the plane covered with Pokemon characters inside and out. The remarkable plane also has about 370 seats. Passengers will also receive Pokemon-themed merchandise, such as hats, pillows, and even lanyards. The unique aircraft is expected to fly for the first time on September 9th to Tokyo, Japan. It will also make trips to Seoul, South Korea. Those flights, gotta catch them all. I'm Scott Beadle. Thank you for watching.